YouthBuild started about 45 years ago in Harlem. A woman who still is the executive director of YouthBuild USA now started the program 45 years ago. And basically, she saw young people standing day after day on corners, not doing anything, idle in front of vacant and abandoned buildings. And she asked them if there was anything you could do to get yourself back on track, what would it be? And they said we would fix up this tenement house and make it so that people could live in here. It's history from there. There are 275 YouthBuild sites across the country, and it's an international program now. We are in 5 or 6 other countries across the world. We are because the model works. The model is set up to help young people impact each piece of their life, to impact the social service side of their life, and address their barriers, to address their academic barriers, to address their vocational barriers, to really figure out who they are as a leader, and then to provide strong service for young people, getting them placed into jobs, college, or both.
They realize that unless they get more training, and that can be through the GED or the job training, that they're not going to be in a position to keep improving the lot that they came with. So they come trying to make changes. While they're here, we work with them to have better relationships. We work to show parenting skills. We try to integrate it all together so that you just assimilate it and it becomes part of what you do.
Many of our young people have chosen to leave school, but many of them have chosen to leave school under duress. And what I mean by that is they've been asked to leave school or told that they will never be able to finish school in the regular system.
The life skills we teach are everything from just general work ethic to like how to really excel as a person in your position, in your job, the kind of character, personal habits that you have outside of work that really affect and reflect on your job and in your job and allow you to really excel and not just have a job and maintain it, but to just excel in the job as a more than average employee.
The skills that YouthBuild has taught me is math, English, of course, writing. Those things I use daily. Giving estimates. I wouldn't be able to give an estimate if I didn't know how to properly read a tape measure, learn square footage, linear foot, height, things of that nature. English itself, I'm constantly writing emails. Being able to use, proper English when you talking to a client. You don't want to be talking any kind of way. And those skills itself has really put me ahead of the curve with some business owners as well.
I start off with the students with very basic carpentry lessons from about tape measure and framing jargon, and move right into where we are today to actually doing a gut rehab. All along the way, not only are we teaching various types of carpentry, plumbing, electrical skills and knowledge, but also just life skills, mentoring, and friendship.
We're working on Cozair playhouses right now for 2 Cozair kids, and it's just like a normal house. It's just smaller, and I've loved every minute of it. With the playhouses, at first it was just a bunch of wood in the middle of the shop, and now we have 2 big houses in our shop, and every part that I've done, I look at it all the time, I'm like, I did that, and it's a good feeling to see your actual work, what you've been doing this whole time, actually build into something.
We really try to help them as adults understand what that means. What are they fighting against, and what does that really mean? And what do you have to do to overcome that disability as an adult? As we identify their strengths and weaknesses academically, that we really set a plan in place that will serve their strengths.
If I did not find YouthBuild, I could possibly be in prison right now for I have no clue for what, but I just didn't have no direction in my life at that time. And YouthBuild kind of helped me get on a path to succeed.
We recognize their growth and make sure that they understand that as we recognize that, that's taking them to the place where they'll meet their goals.
There's everything from the really practical, like I never really understood length times width, the Pythagorean theorem. They really, sometimes those are hard to get, but then when you're actually going to cut a tile and you need to know what that hypotenuse is, or you're going to cut a rafter and you need to figure out that hypotenuse with the Pythagorean theorem. But then there's also a lot of stuff about just interpersonal conflict. You know, like we're on a job site, it's stressful, it's hot, they're tired, they don't want to be there, I don't want to be there, different stressors in the workforce, and that stuff even comes out. You know, what they learned about themselves.
What we do differently is that we really build on their strengths. We make sure that they understand what we believe their strengths are, and we try to play to those strengths.
I was really shy when I first started. I've always been shy, always been real shy. And within probably 3 weeks of being here, they just brought me out of my shell. Everybody's real friendly and kind of pulls you out of your shell even if you don't want to. And it got to the point where I was excited to wake up and come to school. I just fell in love with it.
My experience coming back to school was kind of shaky because of prior experience with school. I was a failure at it. That's how I looked at it and viewed it. But I think as I came back, I didn't try hard enough the first time around. With the staff at YouthBuild, they just showed me that if you stay persistent, stay on it, you know, we're here to help you, that you can achieve what you set out to achieve with your education.
This is a great head start. This is a program that you can come in and not only that they're giving you a path, but you're seeing people that's followed that path and have succeeded. So not only do you see a path, you see the success, that's the potential, the capabilities of it.
And even now, like when I have stuff going on in my life, I go to them and they support me and show me an easier way to go about the decision I make.
YouthBuild has opened my eyes to what my goals should be, especially compared to what I thought they should be to now. My goals have completely changed, completely. And I've got my head on right now, finally.
I joined YouthBuild, learned the basic carpentry skills. I did really well as a student. They hired me on the next year. I got to work with the construction manager side by side, learned some of the estimates, day in, day out, daily things, and eventually I ventured out and started my own business.
They give back through service in the community. And they not only give back, they decide how they'll give back. That's a critical piece for them to understand that there are problems in the community and that they have the power to change those problems. They actually figure out the solutions and then institute the solutions.
I've had a lot more doors open, respect from my family and friends and co-workers and getting a job and just everything.
I think if there's one thing that I would want folks to know about young people who drop out of school is that they haven't lost their intelligence, they haven't lost their ability to achieve, they've lost their resilience to achieve. And part of what needs to happen for young people is that they need opportunities to see that they are smart, that they are able to achieve, that they are able to really earn awards, and they are able to be the people that they want to be.